We're back with the Secretary. There are 5 ballot questions for voters to consider in Massachusetts in this election. Can I borrow this for a second?
You may.
Here is the, you've undoubtedly seen this. Maybe you've likely gotten it. Right, I have gotten it. You should have gotten it. And they range from MCAS to magic mushrooms. As a former state representative, what is your take on the ballot initiatives in the political process?
I think they're important. Unfortunately, it's been hijacked by big money. The idea these are citizen efforts is simply not true.
Special interest groups?
All sides. I mean, it's an equal opportunity operation. It's big money. It's to both gather the signatures and then to spend the money on the advertising. But it's based on the idea that there's frustration with the legislative process. That's what the cause of it is. That's why it's in our state constitution, because it gives the voters the right to enact laws. But it's no longer simply a group of citizens who got together and said, let's do something. It's on all sides, on all issues. It requires a lot of organization and a lot of money.
It requires a lot of research as well by voters.
That's true, and I'm glad you said that. I mean, it's important. What you'll see on the ballot is the official summary of what the law would do, and that is composed by the Attorney General. And sometimes it's confusing, or there's paragraphs in there that don't seem to be related, even though they should be, to whatever else is on there. So it's important you read the whole thing. The other thing is that there is a one-sentence statement, which is a summary. What does a yes do and what does a no do? I changed the law some years ago to effectuate that. That one-sentence statement is composed by the Attorney General and myself jointly. And I might add, it's not always easy. You don't know, even with people you try to work with, we did, and we've done it consecutively. And it's given a chance to challenge by those who are advocating for or against the questions. That's your surest guide if you want to know.
Just so voters understand, so before it lands in that booklet, it's both sides are given a chance to challenge the way it's phrased.
Right.
Right.
And this will help you. This is very helpful.
And it will have dates in there on the early voting.
Should voters be making the call on issues like MCAS, for example?
Well, should they? Sure, they can make it. I mean, ultimately, it's their law and it's their children and their system. It's not that they shouldn't get the right to make it. I'm just saying that the process that people might think of as just, and it's not just MCAS, it's all the questions. I mean, most of the questions, if not all of them, I think just about all of them, had some help from paid signature gatherers. Nothing wrong with that, but it suggests that the idea that this, we're all sitting on an Athenian hillside dreaming up questions. No, not really.
No, we've had quite a few questions on the ballot before. There are 5 questions on the ballot. That's not insignificant. We've had more,
we've
as
had
you
more.
pointed
We've
out.
had up to 8.
You've had up to 8, but
5's a lot, and some of them are lengthy, and that's why I mentioned the one-sentence summary and the summary itself. The summary is the complete official version of what this will do. So you mentioned magic mushrooms, which is somewhat complex. People don't know exactly what it is that you're going to be allowing. They need to read up on it, I suppose. The similar situation with the unionization of Uber Lyft drivers. There's complications there both ways that people should read. And obviously the tip workers one, there's additional language in there about the issue of what happens to the tips now. Right. Which it's a minimum wage, but then there's the other issue that's presented in there. And then lastly on the MCAS, there's not only the issue of eliminating the MCAS, it's what would be the substitute proposed by the proponents.
Great to have you in the chair. We appreciate it greatly. The Secretary of State Bill Galvin has been here. Our thanks to him. Sunday Roundtable is next. We will dig deeper into the vice presidential debate. Sure, it was civil, but was it and can a vice president debate be impactful? A status report on the race for the White House when we come back.